Okay, I figured I'd get kind of a little update video here in my shop. Did some work to it and kind of made things a little more organized and did some stuff. First thing I did is I got this big piece of Doug fir. That's a 15-inch piece of Doug fir, seasoned all the way through. I cut that off as flush as I could with a saw, power saw, and screwed in my vise. I originally had that in another shed of ours to a workbench, but we didn't use it at all, so I moved it in here because my grinder was in our other shed, and I'd have to grind all my chains everywhere else because I had it where I put it in my vise. It's just a 2x4 here that the grinder screws into with these washers and screws, big wood screws, and then this 2x4 sits in the vise, and then you can just clamp it in the vise. It's nice because it's not permanently mounted. You could mount it to a table or anything, but it's nice because you can move it around and everything. So I put that in there, put the vise on, and then I screwed. It's kind of hard to get. Actually, really hard to get these perfectly flush with a power saw. So I got as flush as I could, and I screwed these chunks of 2x4 on to kind of stable it, and it helps. It's good and solid. The top here I took beeswax, and this has a lot of beeswax. I just melted a bunch in a can and just poured it all over it and kind of spread it in. It's thick, but it'll keep it from seasoning. And then I got punches. This is where I do all my chains and everything now. Grind all my chains in here. Break all my chains in here. Dress bar rails. I put it at perfect height. I got this chair. I can sit down and be right here perfect and grab it and grind, and can stand up and run stuff through the bar rail dresser, dress bars. But I got raker gauges here, 25 and 30, Allen wrench for changing the wheel on the grinder, marker for marking chains, wheel dressing brick, punches for breaking chain and knocking out bar tips. You can do it on the back, and then underneath there I have a piece of metal that I can set up here and use for doing stuff. Double bevel chisel file, use that for, I'll put a bar in here and file chisel chain, and then I use it for taking rakers down. I'll get a raker file too. All my stuff I have to run off extension cord, so I have it plugged in, and you can see over there I got the one plug in there and a plug in there that I run my heater and air compressor off of. But then to run my light up here, I have to run the cord over, which is kind of a pain. I'd like to get a different light up there and make it brighter. But so that's where I do all my chain. I can move this around too. I can move it back in the corner if I don't want it. If I want to work on something in here, and one of these days I'm going to get this 110 out of here, redo it. This needs a new pulse. I finally kind of tore into it. Needs a new pull starter cover, needs a new exhaust, new carburetor, and that's about it. It has spark, coil, and everything works on it. That tire and that tire have held air for about 2 months now, or about a month actually. No, about a month and a half. The other one is up there, that one right there, and it held air, but it had a leak in valve stem, and so I got to mess with it. That tire there I got with the ATC 185, and it's a brand new tire. I had it put on the rim, but it leaked still. So we bought new ones anyway, so we put it on. That tire there is off my white trailer, and then those ones behind there too. Those were tires that came with the 185, also kind of a sand tire, and they are both crap. The rims are junk on them, and I'm going to get rid of those. But this thing will come out of here, and then I can pull bigger stuff in, and because this trailer comes out every once in a while, and that pressure washer needs some work, that push weed eater works, but it's kind of a mess because I got these. I wish these cants, these are big chestnut cants, I wish those were out of here. Wish all of this crap was out. That mini bike needs to go. Wish all that crap over there is gone. But that's what I have. And then I went tonight and built this shelf here, kind of slash table. I got all my spare parts underneath. and they got them out underneath my main workbench. My welder, I did put on the other side, you can't see it, but I did put a 2x4 in case I want to put a shelf. All I gotta do is screw in on this side and put my shelves in. Have another level. But for now, I got my welder out of there from where it was over there, my grinder. Got a bunch of crap out from underneath there. Plus, I got that XL12 off my main bench, and I can set stuff on there. My grinder, when I take it out, it'll set up there, and I can put stuff up there and everything. Cleaned up all around there, cleaned up over here. See, I got all my bench nice and clean now. Paper towels, propane torch. This is my light here, big light. I run my extension cord up and hang it off of here, and it hangs down so I can see. These are old chain boxes here. Faller's pad, all my tools. I got all my tools still underneath. Spray paint and everything down there. High temp, air filter oil, and plastic spray paint for the 3-wheelers and then everything. Grease, 1040, 1030, 80-90 gear oil, garbage can, drain pan. That bucket's full of parts washing fluid. That's what my used motor oil goes into. A milk jug, drain pan. Those quart bottles are just for they're for drain stuff. I can, if I want to dump it in there and reuse my pan, I can dump it in those if I'm out in the field. Those are 2 Harley-Davidson tanks that a guy gave me to maybe put on that mini bike, which they're not, so they don't fit. They'd take too much dinking around, welding and everything. I don't know, I might weld them on, but those are just there for now. Hung my hammer up. Those are all a bunch of bars. I don't know if you can see, it's pretty dark, but those are all bars there that need to be redone. Grease gun, all my axes, and it's kind of a bigger now to get to my axes, hookaroon, and my dad's old falling axe, double bitted, my falling axe, a plumb axe, and then that was my dad's original falling axe, and then I got my Fiskars and my maul out in the truck. And then you can see I got all that underneath, my welder, all my parts, combo jug, gas and oil, 455, 372, home light, the Super 2 and the 40, new bar oil, combo jugs, used jugs, 36-inch chain, 32-inch chain, 20-inch or 28-inch chain, 20-inch chains, 36-inch bar, 32-inch bar, 2 of those, 28-inch bar, 2 20-inch bars. These up here are for the 455. They're the 18-inch chains. Gloves, buck and tape. That spare chain there is for the 40. Pink ribbon, 3/16 file, 5/32 file, brag, bug eyes. My chains, let's see, I got, and these I'll count the ones on the saw, 3 455 chains, 1 36-inch chain, 5 32-inch chains, 2 28-inch chains, and then 2 20-inch chains. And I had 3 20-inch chains. I had one brand new one that was still in the box from over there, but I don't use my 20-inch bars. Those 20-inch bars don't fit my 455, so I just broke the 20-inch and made another one for my 455. Made it 18. Took out, I don't know, 4 drivers because it's a 68 driver chain. And then I just got done grinding. Let's see, 3 chains. Ground that one. They're all brand new chains. I ground the one brand new chain for the 455. I had a 28 I took out, ground it, and then I had that 36 was brand new. I ground it. I grind all my chains straight out of the box. I know everyone's gonna be, oh, you got brand new chains and you're grinding them, and I've done a lot of comparisons on chains right from the factory and then chains that I grind, and I can usually gain by me sharpening it. And I'm not talking about taking the rakers down. I can take the rakers down, especially on my 372, and cut way quicker, gain 5 seconds. But usually if I just grind it myself, and I did it the other day on my 455, I had a brand new chain straight from Woodland Pro 30 RC, 3/8 pitch, 50 gauge, 68 hours, 50 or 18 inch, brand new right out of the box. And then I had another chain brand new right out of the box that I just touched up, just hit real light, hit it at 30 degrees by 60 degrees on the grinder, and didn't hit it with a tilt or anything. And I timed it, and I beat same wood, dug first, season dug first, same bar, different chains. I beat the chain straight out of the factory box. I beat that by 3 seconds with my 45, which isn't a lot, but it's something. You know, you think bucking wood up all day, 3 seconds will add up if you're doing it for a couple hours. So I grind all my chains, and I have found, especially with Oregon, Woodland Pro's pretty good with it. But the Oregon chains, I find their angles are off quite a bit. Their top plate, all the Oregon chains are supposed to be 25 degrees. That's what I've always ground mine at. And I found that a lot of the time they're off. They'll be at, you know, when you grind them, I just ground that 36. And that 36, almost every cutter was a little bit off. And, you know, touching it up, it touches it up fine, gets it, you know, right at 25 degrees. And I mean, and it's not my grinder. I mean, it has, my grinder, I'm so picky about it. I mean, I have to be right on the 25. I've measured it, made sure it's right at 25 with a degree wheel and everything like that. You know, I can't have it be any little bit off. And I've just found that they're off. A lot of the time they'll be off far. And then plus, I like my gullets ground out. I grind my gullets out a little bit deeper than what Oregon does. Woodland Pro is pretty good. They grind theirs at a 30 degree. A lot of my Woodland Pro chains, I just grind 25. I try to grind the majority of my stuff 25 by 60. Sometimes I'll throw a tilt in if I'm experimenting. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll just grind it a straight off 90. What I mean by tilt is this whole carriage here will tilt 10 degrees either side. I'll loosen it up here, and on the bottom, if you watch, this whole thing will pick up. You can see how that tilted back. I've done it. I mean, you can see here the angles. I mean, I set it. I have a mark right where 25 is, and it's right where they said. I don't grind mine at a tilt usually. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like I said though, I haven't seen a whole lot cutting, you know, being able to cut quicker with the Woodland Pro, grinding them at a, you know, 30 degree by, you know, and then having the tilt. I usually just grind mine at 25. That's what I always have it set at. That new chain, the new 20 inch and then the new 28, I did grind those at 30. There'll be experiments. I'll just keep track of them and see. And then that 36, I grounded just a standard 25. These chains here for the 372, they're 32 inch. Those are the worst ones I have. If you can see there, they're getting down pretty far. They'll probably have one, maybe two more sharpenings left, and then they'll be junk. I might go and break some drivers and get some tie straps out of them. I have on hand, and then I have three basically brand new chains for my 372, my 32s, and I'll probably go and buy another 2 chains, have those, and then I need to buy a new chain for my Super 2. It's pretty bad, and I don't run that very often, but it's nice having it. It's like $12 for a chain, so I'm just gonna buy a chain. I don't remember if it's 3/8 pitch low profile or if it's 1/4 inch. I gotta find out, and I want to get another chain. And I have a spare chain for my 42, and then the one that's on there's, I don't know, it was a brand new chain I bought. It's probably got half life left or something like that in it. But yeah, so that's about how I've got my place set up here. I want to get a sign put up out front above that doorway there. I'd like to get this 3-wheeler out of here, and then I really wish I could get all those doggone cants out of here, but I can't. I think what I might do is all that table over there is missing a leg, and then there's a bunch of old shelves and crap in there. I think I'm just gonna take all that out at some point and burn it, and then I could slide some of this stuff, my ramps down there, and creeper, put all it back there, clean up that corner up some, and everything, and maybe move this trailer over to there. And then once this thing's, the main thing, it just takes up so much room. That lawnmower doesn't take up a whole lot of room. That mini bike does, but my air compressor, there's that too. I got my little heater there. It heats it up. This whole building's insulated. Air compressor there. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna wait until after Christmas or birthday and see if I get one. I'd like a 20 gallon, because that one for blowing and running air tools, you just can't do it. So I want to get a big one and probably just put it right there, and I got a little air tank over there. But get rid of that, and got over there on top of that old stove. I got a speaker system in here now, just a little portable one, and listen to music when I grind chains and work on stuff and everything. But no, it's a pretty good little, I'll tell you what, I like this better than when I was in our big shop in my kind of earlier videos, doing some tank work on the 372. That was in our big shop and wasn't insulated. It was colder than heck in there, or hotter than heck depending on the weather, and it was so big, everything was so scattered out. I had to walk 20 feet over to our vise and use that and everything, and it was just kind of a pain. And it's nice right here because I just got everything, my table, shelf slash table, grinder, got my chair I can sit around on and scoot around and do my porting in here little bits, and everything's right close here. I don't have to go to a different building to do anything. I can just sit right here. I got enough room in here. I can work on 3-wheelers. I got a neighbor that's got a Kawasaki Mule that I'm gonna have to change the oil in, and I can change oil in my 3-wheelers in the other bay and weld in here, especially when this thing gets out of here. I can weld, and I can even work on cars in here. I can open up a bay and take 3-wheelers out, and got those ramps. I can drive a car in here, drive my truck in here, and just do everything. And plus it's insulated, nice and warm and everything. The only thing it needs though is some better lighting. I just have that light and that light. I'd really like to put I'd like to hang a light right up here, a big, what's it called, I can't say, a fluorescent light up here, a big one, and maybe even one more in the center. And then I'd like to get actually a treble light, because this thing here, if you drop it, it'll break. I had a different bulb in here, and I dropped it the other day and broke it. And but that's why this stands here, so I can hang my light off of it for now. But I'd like to put some different lights in here, even replace those, maybe get some floodlights in here, something like that, and make this brighter and everything, and maybe do that. That bay over there isn't real bad, but this bay here, I need some more light for seeing and filming and everything. And, it sucks in here, and my camera sucks too. But yeah, and that's over here. This is a 100-year-old cider press. It's a double one. We had the stand redone about 10 years ago. It's in pretty good shape. I didn't grease it and everything, and the stands for it down below, I'm going to redo those this winter and redo the big trough for the bottom, and the buckets are still pretty good, and the hopper and everything. I redid some of that this year, but that's kind of a neat thing we've had. And yeah, so that's my shop. That's how I got it set up, and pretty good little setup here, I think. And it's how you get started out, and I don't know if this would be